Yo, yo, yo. Hold up. Things are wrong. There we go. There we go. What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's good to see you guys. Hope your weekend's going well. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Another beautiful day to do some video gaming news, yeah, and play some more Witcher 3, dude. I don't know. That was kind of I like doing community games on the weekend, but man, I'm so wrapped up in Witcher 3 right now. I'm loving the game, like, absolutely. So, I don't know. Probably just do Witcher 3 this weekend, and then next weekend we'll get back into trying to do some community game stuff. Maybe some Fall Guys, stuff like that. But I'm just liking Witcher 3 too much right now. So, that's the play, man. That's the play. I hope everybody's doing well. Again, I hope your weekend's going well. Let's Wick, what's up, dude? Let's do what we do and jump into video gaming news. Cool. I need to turn my fan on, man. Second. Little toasty in here this morning. All right, let's do this. And my camera, dude. I'm a mess this morning. Holy crap, Breh. What's up, Breh?
We were on a break.
It doesn't count if you didn't play it before I got back. It doesn't count. Doesn't count. Nice try. Wait, what? There we go. Don't do that. Whoop. There we go. Solid. How's your weekend been, Wick? No, no. We saw that yesterday. Vampire Survivors, so close. I know. Vampire Survivors got an actual boss added to the game. That's really cool. It already had some like boss ish, but like an actual end game boss has been added. We read about that yesterday, though. I do apologize. The news segments over the past couple of days, I was having some YouTube issues over the past couple of days, just with getting some stuff uploaded and made public and stuff. But it's all been sorted, and the news segments from the past 2 days are up. So I do apologize, guys. They're there though. Steam Deck is changing how I buy games. I'm guessing this is just in reference to like whether the games are actually verified or not. User error? Yeah. Three-head error. Three-head error. For sure. We read about that yesterday as well. If you're interested, check out yesterday's news segment. Stray looks really cool, man. I want to play it. Major PS5 gameplay feature possibly leaked? Let's see what that's about. Yes, three-head for sure. Yo, did you see the Gwent card that Tabo made? Did you see that, Wick? It's pretty epic. I showed it off yesterday. You saw it? Yeah, it's pretty good. The new multiplayer Skyrim mod has been downloaded over what 5 million times probably. I think we already talked about what Skyrim mod is, and but they basically put a disclaimer out there with it that was like, we cannot, it's bound to have some bugs and things like that. We don't recommend playing this with other mods because we don't know how well it'll play with all the all other mods and stuff. But it looks like people are enjoying it. Yeah, dude, I didn't do a long stream yesterday. I had some stuff I needed to take care of, and I don't always do super long streams on the weekend because sometimes I do have some things I need to do, and so yesterday was one of those days. Sorry, man. Don't let your kids anywhere near this adorable binary star falling into darkness game. Made in Abyss binary star. We actually watched the trailer for this. It's a bit weird. So it's based off of an anime. We watched the trailer, and who was it? Was it Tinwin? I think was telling me that it was like this is actually supposed to be a dark anime, and the entire first 3/4 of the trailer was like real nice, lighthearted looking gameplay, and then all of a sudden it did. It got dark. Homie was character in the game was leaking ooze from his eyes, and it was wild. Blizzard puts a final bullet in Heroes of the Storm development. There you go. Looks like we might be having a bleak Sunday news day. That happens on Sundays. From time to time. Yeah, we've already talked a lot about Skull and Bones. We might have already talked about this. Let's pull this up, though. Xbox may be bringing back a highly rated N64 exclusive. Let's go ahead and go to page 4 real quick. Popular Steam game coming to PS4 and PS5. Let's see. Yeah, we read about this. That was could have been wild. Who knows? In the future, they might still do that. We also read about this. Tencent Games is shutting down their mobile games portal. Okay. Apex Legends single player game leaked? There you go, Wick. Here's your jam, dude. All right, let's pivot real quick. We'll go into our other search. Jam Jam. Shake Weight Jam. I need to go get my hair cut. Trimmed. Not cut, trimmed. I'll probably wait a while, but I need to. Read about a lot of this. Could you end up in jail for cheating at a video game? Interesting. Yeah, I would say in competitive games nowadays, with how lucrative it is becoming, if you are found to have been cheating, I think there are definitely more likely to be repercussions nowadays in a much more severe manner, to even the potential of like legal repercussions, um, ramifications, due to the fact that you potentially cost people a lot of money. Yep. We've talked about 5G and video games and stuff. I'm not going to dive into that. We've talked about Point B. The first NFT games console. I'm going to skim this, but this seems ridiculous to me. Mike Barra, the CEO or director of Blizzard, can get wrecked. Yo, gamer, what's up, buddy? Go one more page here. Okay. See with this. See what we got. The Steam Deck is changing how I buy games. What used to be an easy decision is much harder. Buying multi-platform games used to be a simple decision for me. I'd almost always get them on the Switch because of how easy it is to play games both on a TV or in portable mode. The Steam Deck has thrown a wrench in that decision-making process. The handheld gaming PC might be heavier, have worse battery life, and doesn't come with an easy Switch-like dock to throw my games onto a bigger screen. But because I feel like I can bank on Steam games being available much longer into the future, I'm having to make tough choices about whether I buy games on Valve's storefront instead of Nintendo's. I'll add to that in a second. There's one important thing I should state up front. I hadn't owned a gaming PC of any kind until I got the Steam Deck in April. Wow. For a long while, I primarily played video games on Nintendo platforms, and I only really began to dig into the PS and Xbox libraries in earnest with the beginning of the pandemic. While I've bought a lot of Steam games on sale or in humble bundles, I've only actually played a handful of them, and only on old work laptops or my personal MacBook. Yuck. Gaming on a MacBook, dude. The Steam Deck, on the other hand, is a much more capable gaming device than any laptop I've ever owned. Once I got it set up, I suddenly had access to nearly 200 PC games that I had previously bought or claimed, and I could play them on my couch or connect it to an external display. I knew that would be the case when I put in my reservation for the Steam Deck last year. But actually seeing the games on my very own device was eye-opening. With Switch games, though, there's no guarantee that they'll work with Nintendo's next major console. Right now, I just have to cross my fingers that Nintendo opts to make that console backward compatible with my Switch purchases. Personally, I'm not counting on it. Nintendo loves to find new ways to resell old games. I would have liked to have brought over Mario Kart 8 from my Wii U to the Switch, but to be able to play it with my colleagues during the pandemic, I had to cough up the full price for the game. Yep. Access to retro games is one of the primary perks of the Switch Online subscription, but all of the virtual console purchases I made years ago aren't available on my Switch, and Nintendo isn't afraid to shut down storefronts. With Steam, on the other hand, I can be fairly confident that just about everything I buy that works on the Steam Deck will work just fine on any potential next Steam Deck or gaming-capable computer I buy well into the future. I'm making a big assumption that Valve doesn't get acquired or suddenly fall off the face of the earth. Anything can happen in the video game industry, so maybe I shouldn't tempt fate, but Valve seems to have a good thing going. I should also say that on my Steam Deck, I've generally gravitated towards smaller and indie titles like Hotline Miami, Inside, and the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. All great games. I suspect those are the types of games I personally am going to want to return to at some point in the future. It'll be a lot easier to just re-download them on a PC instead of having to dig up my Switch once it inevitably loses its spot on my TV stand. Despite how much I love the Steam Deck and the potential that the Steam platform will let me easily access games years and years down the line, I haven't fully committed to Valve's ecosystem just yet because it's a hassle to play Steam Deck games on my TV. Part of the magic of the Switch is how effortlessly it switches from handheld to TV mode when you plop the device into its dock, and although the Steam Deck can connect to external displays, there's still not an option that's quite as simple as the Switch experience. I think that the Steam Deck will incorporate that very soon, if not their next iteration of the device. I had been looking forward to the official Steam Deck dock, see if that could come close, but since it was delayed, I'm going to have to keep waiting. But while I don't expect the Steam Deck will ever be as easy to play on a TV as a Switch, it might be worth a bit of inconvenience to be able to play decades of PC games on the bigger screen at home, and to know that anything I buy now will probably work on other PCs down the line. Right now, I'm still picking the Switch for a lot of games, but what used to be a no-brainer is now something that I have to think hard about. And as Valve keeps improving the Steam Deck, choices in the future might be even harder. So this is specifically somebody that is a very on-the-go type of game player, right? And therefore, the Switch and the Steam Deck very, very much fill the niche of what they need in console, right? This is what I will say. I have a significant amount of library that is digital, whether it be on Steam or Epic or other online platforms, especially for PC games. On console, I am still very, very, very much accustomed to buying physical copies of games. And part of the reason being is what they talked about in this article. It seems like consoles have a harder time maintaining the availability for the digital games to be accessed online, even if you own them. Whereas platforms like Steam and everything like that, it's always been based on digital, right? So they've got a very good. I mean, obviously, if their servers go down, you're not able to access that stuff if you don't have it downloaded already, right? But we see it with Nintendo all the time, taking their stuff, their eShop stuff down, not able to access the games and things like that. And for me, especially with Nintendo, I always try to grab physical copies of games. I am very, very, very rarely ever grabbing digital copies of Nintendo games. Large in part due to that fact. So, I mean, in my opinion, that might be something that this individual needs to consider. Is it inconvenient to have to switch out a game all the time? Yeah. I've also grown up with consoles that were always that way, whether it be a cartridge or a little, micro SD kind of, game, or a disc, or what have you, so it's whatever. It's much more convenient to have digital games, but at the same time, I'd rather be able to play my games forever than not have access to them at some point, so that's just kind of my take on it. Major PS5 gameplay feature possibly leaked. A new PS5 gameplay feature in the works may have just leaked, courtesy of a newly surfaced patent from Sony. Patent in question revealed what is essentially a what-if feature that would allow PS5 users not only to view replays of their gameplay, but view various outcomes that would have occurred if they made a different decision. For example, if they ducked rather than dodged a swing from a boss, quote, methods and systems are provided for generating an outcome of a previous gameplay, reads an abstract of the patent. The method includes providing access of a recording of the previous gameplay. The recording is one that was shared by a player for the previous gameplay. The method includes providing an interface that identifies one or more what-if scenarios for the previous gameplay. The one or more what-if scenarios being selected for inclusion into the interface is based on the processing the recording of the previous gameplay through a machine learning model to identify what-if scenarios for the user, and options for what-if scenarios are provided to the interface. The abstract continues. The method includes enabling the selection of at least one of the what-if scenarios from the options. The selection causes an adjustment to metadata associated with the recording of the previous gameplay. The method includes replaying the recording that was selected using the adjusted metadata to generate the alternative outcome of the previous gameplay. This sounds like an ambitious feature, and one that developers would have to support rather than simply being universal. Yeah. Whether anything will come of this patent remains to be seen. Sony patents a wide range of things that never come to fruition, so it would be surprising if this never graduates past the conceptual stage. Wouldn't be surprising, excuse me. Meanwhile, if it does, there's no guarantee it will be via the PS5. I could also see games being specifically built around such a mechanic. Why would anybody want what? This? This specific kind of tech incorporation in games? Well, duck, dip, dive, dodge, duck, something like that, right? Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind, Wick, is for example, like fighting games, competitive fighting games, okay? Being able to competitive people that play competitive fighting games are always, especially very, very high level competitive game players in fighting games, are always dissecting their own gameplay and other people's gameplay, right? Because you don't need to just know your characters that you main, you need to know how other characters interact with your characters as well. So being able to utilize this kind of technology just in that aspect for games like fighting games could be greatly useful. But I could also see certain games potentially just being built around such a mechanic. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to like theory craft a game right now or anything, but I could see something potentially coming down the line where there was, because games are always being built right now around being able to like play through a section of a game and then rewind. You know what I mean? Or what have you. You see stuff like that all the time. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of potential behind it. I would say, and like the article said, it's like, uh, does it necessarily mean that it is going to be something that is highly utilized? No, but there's potential there, and I don't think it's a bad play by uh, don't want to be taught how to play. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh, just because they're talking specifically about being able to go look at your gameplay and see what you could have done different to maybe make things better. Well, again, this is also something that could be very, very useful for people doing speedrunning stuff, things like that. There are people that play games for a lot of different reasons. Uh, there are a lot of different reasons why people play games, right? I play games for the experience. I'm not trying to do things that are meta. I mean, I think I fall in line with the way you feel about games. Um, I'm not a speedrunner. I just try to have fun. That's all it is for me, right? Even if it might seem like I'm raging out a little bit, if I wasn't having fun, I wouldn't be playing it, right? But there are reasons why something like this could be very useful for certain people in games, whether it be dissecting your combat within a competitive online, multiplayer fighting game like Street Fighter or Tekken or something like that, or if it be some games that are highly competitive in the speedrunning field, what have you. It could really help people you know be more competitive in these games that that's where their enjoyment lies. Okay, so just because it's not where we are necessarily getting our enjoyment, there are a lot of people that find enjoyment in doing those kinds of things in their games, and it could be useful for them, you know what I mean? So I mean, I hear you. It doesn't necessarily um, seem like something that is going to benefit me, but I can see where it will benefit certain people potentially, certain types of gamers. Yeah. Blizzard puts a final bullet in Heroes of the Storm development. Goodbye to the only good MOBA. No. Okay, dude. I mean, people already go and watch other people's. So speedrunning of games is super community based, man. It's super community based. They actually, it's actually most speedrunning, and I'm not a speedrunner. We should probably talk to Pinky a bit more about it. But everything I know about speedrunning is that it's very, very community based. Uh, and depending on what game you play, right? As long as you're committed, and it's actually very, very, very wholesome. And people are always trying to help one another out, get started in speedrunning, whatever title you're trying to speedrun, giving tips and tricks to one another, giving each other better pathings to get stuff done. It's working together to be better at doing it. So I think you have the wrong mindset there about you're seeing it as, yeah, it's competitive, but it's also a community based competitive thing where everybody's trying to help one another always increase the time to beat. You know what I mean? It's so you're seeing it as how you're seeing it in a way as like everybody's against each other. It's not That's not the way speedrunning usually works. You're such a troll, dude. But I mean, honestly, like that. Usually, speedrunning isn't like it's not like a competitive like. I'm not gonna give you my. You're not getting my route. It's not like it's like actually helping people out is usually the way the speedrunning community works. So, um, people are always trying to better themselves. People that are competitive about speedrunning and being able to watch their own videos and other people their own replays and other people's replays and stuff could absolutely help. Yeah. Such a troll. Um, So, Heroes of the Storm saying bye bye, I guess. In 2018, Blizzard moved some of the development team away from Heroes of the Storm and discontinued its official competitive league, Heroes Global Championship, which pro players weren't exactly thrilled about. Early in 2019, it got rid of paid loot boxes, leaving the option to buy them with in game currency. Though Heroes of the Storm was widely seen as a dead game, intermittent development continued at a slower cadence. With the addition of new heroes like Melee Assassin, Quira, and me from Overwatch, and events like the time it went Cyberpunk. The latest update on the Heroes of the Storm blog has announced the 7-year-old MOBA will no longer be receiving new content, though free hero rotations and balance patches will continue. Moving forward, we will support heroes in a manner similar to our other long-standing games, StarCraft and StarCraft 2, it says. In the future, we'll continue seasonal roles and hero rotations, and while in-game shop will remain operational, there are no plans for new purchase content to be added. Future patches will primarily focus on client sustainability and bug fixing, with balance updates coming as needed. In his review of Heroes of the Storm, in 2015, Chris Thurston wrote, "This is a studio that has always valorized accessibility and has lately had that belief galvanized by the striking success of Hearthstone. Heroes of the Storm is a MOBA for people who don't play MOBAs. Therefore, perhaps even a MOBA for people who don't like MOBAs. It's a shame there wasn't enough of an audience for a MOBA aimed at casual players that stripped away genre standard complexities like individual leveling, gold, and items while adding comeback mechanisms to make matches feel less like their outcomes were decided in the opening minutes." Yeah, there are a lot of people that like Heroes of the Storm, yeah. As of next week's patch, those loyal players who remain will receive a free Epic Arcane Lizard mount as a gift. Blizzard's blog post ends by saying, "We will do everything we can moving forward to suck as much money out of everybody that we can with all of the games that we continue to make." I mean, as of next week's patch, yeah, they said, to our heroes community, we say thank you to continue to be one of our most passionate communities. We're grateful for your continued dedication and support, and as always, we look forward to seeing you in the Nexus. Get wrecked, Blizzard. Whatever. Xbox may be bringing back highly rated N64 exclusive. Xbox may be reviving a beloved N64 series. The Nintendo 64 was a great generation for Nintendo. Dude, I'll never forget the first time I saw Mario 64. Blew my flippin' mind. Do you guys? I'm sure everybody kind of has a little bit of those times, right? Like as a youngster, being a passionate gamer, and seeing gaming evolve in your eyes. Those games that or like a new console come out or whatever, and you just went, "Oh, holy crap, dude!" I remember the first time I ever saw a Nintendo 64 was in a toy store, man. And what are you talking about, dude? I'm only like 26. um, and I didn't get to play it, but I watched some other people play, and it absolutely blew me away. Blew me away. It was wild. Uh, Naturally, many of the great games and series on the console and birthed on the console are owned by Nintendo, so it's up to them to revive these IPs on Nintendo Switch. However, when Xbox acquired Rare from Nintendo back in the day, it acquired some IPs alongside the studio. The most notable of this IP is Banjo-Kazooie, yep. Which has also been subject to revival rumors lately. The story isn't about the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate characters, though. It's about Blast Core. Thanks, dude. We haven't seen the Rare developed IP since 1997 when it was released via the N64. Upon release, the game garnered a 90 on Metacritic, but sold under expectations, which perhaps explains why we never saw anything else from the series. A sequel was in talks at one point. It was going to be an action combat game, but nothing ever came from these talks. All of that said, why is there scuttlebutt? I love that word, dude. Scuttlebutt. Wick, why are you being all scuttlebutt this morning? You're seeming real scuttlebutt, dude. Yeah, I knew why you did that. Probably just a little bit of lag, dude. I don't know. I do have an entirely different program that like runs all that stuff now through the channel and stuff. So it might have just had a little bit of lag running through there. I don't know. Let's see real quick.
No, 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 no.
You farted all the lag out, dude. Thanks. I love that sound effect, dude. Hard to put much stock, and I know I wasn't using scuttlebutt right. I just like the word. Because it's hard to put much stock in them. In order to renew a trademark, all you need to do is prove you're still using it or have intent on using it in the near future. What Microsoft doesn't need to do in order to renew the trademark is show it's making a new game. To be skeptical, it's hard to imagine Xbox bringing back Blast Core. Comicbook.com always. They do. There's no way they have an editor. There's no way they have an editor. If they do, they should get a new one. I think it's like 70 to 80% of the comicbook.com articles that we read have errors in them. It's wild. To be skeptical, it's hard to imagine Xbox bringing back Blast Corps back as a standalone product, but it did bring it back in 2015 via Rare Replay. Could this collection be getting an Xbox Series XS release? This seems like the most likely possibility, but that's assuming the trademark is indicative of anything exciting. I love their content, but dude, errors constantly in their writing. At the moment of publishing, Microsoft has not commented on the trademark renewals nor the speculation they have created. For a variety of reasons, we don't expect this to change at this point. But if it does, we will be sure to update thee accordingly. What? It's hard to read the stuff sometimes because it just doesn't flow right. It doesn't read right. It's real awkward. Popular Steam game coming to PS4 and PS5. Inscription. Yeah, we've seen this. Yeah. Inscription's awesome, man. The game's great. So the game's coming to PlayStation. Now that basically opens the door for it to also be ported to like other consoles and everything. It doesn't have a date yet though, right? No, yeah, we know it's coming to PlayStation. We just don't know the exact date yet. Inscription's amazing, so good. If you haven't been able to play it yet, especially because it's just PC right now, then highly recommend whenever it comes out on PlayStation playing it, and hopefully after it gets ported to PlayStation, it'll make a smooth transition over into the other consoles as well. Inscription's great, so good. Tencent will shut down the mobile games portal WeGame on September 2022. They've announced an official shutdown of the mobile version of its video game portal WeGame due to some changes in business development strategy. Users will no longer be able to download the application from the 15th of July. They've already stopped accepting new registrations and rewards as of the 5th of this month and will be permanently shutting down its servers on the 8th of September. WeGame used to be regarded as a rebranded version of Tencent Games. It was launched in 2017 on mobile and PC with a strategy of directly competing with other rival Steam games. To date, WeGame officially records more than 200 million registered users. This is a sure thing to boast of. In the following year, Tencent came up with a plan to make a global release of its WeGame storefront after noticing that Steam would be making its way to the Chinese global market. Tencent saw this as a big opportunity to bring the Chinese games on a big platform in the global market. Now it seems that WeGame has comparatively failed to deliver its purposes and targets and called for an official shutdown. In the month of June, Tencent also shut down the streaming platform Penguin Esports after the Chinese government decided against the company's merging with Huya and Douyu. If this merge would have been successful, then it would have made up around 80% of the game streaming market in China. It is now impossible to determine what Tencent games are actually looking for or what changes they are likely to produce in their development strategies. But as of now, WeGame will not witness any further development. Look, we talk about this a lot. We've talked about it a lot here lately. China is very, very strictly regulating their video gaming industry within their country, right? And it seems like to an even greater extent, they're regulating the bigger game developers and businesses like Tencent even tighter than they are some of the other ones. So, I don't know, man. We're seeing a lot of video game developers, publishers, basically any kind of business within China that has to do with video games is looking to try to pivot out into branch their businesses into other parts of the world to get away from the restrictions that China's placing on everything within video gaming. Pretty wild. Here you go, Wick. Single player Apex Legends. A new Apex Legends game is seemingly leaked, though it doesn't sound like it's Apex Legends 2, or in other words, a direct sequel to the popular and free-to-play Battle Royale game, which in itself is a spin-off from Apex Legends. Here's where things get particularly interesting, though. The mystery game seems to be a single-player game, so it's also possible it's Titanfall 3, given the shared universe. Here's that word again, dude. And it's comic book. Scuttlebutt. The old scuttlebutt. About a new Apex Legends game or a new Titanfall game comes from a job listing out of Respawn Entertainment, the developer behind both series as well as the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The job listing in question is for a senior engine and systems engineer. You don't expect to find anything interesting in the job description for a position like this, but that's exactly what it has. Where it lists... job listing specifically mentions applicants should expect to work on Apex Universe FPS incubation project. This isn't the only job listing for the project. There are a variety of job listings, including one for a hard surface artist. While the aforementioned job listing makes no mention of single player, this one does. This new single player title is a developer's dream playground with the freedom to innovate made possible by the unique universe it inhabits. Reads the job listing. Our critically acclaimed multi-platform games have always established a fun comes first sensibility, created with the notion that great ideas can come from anyone, which allows creativity to shine and individuals to shape the game in meaningful ways. Isn't this EA? Isn't this EA? What a crock of crap! Incubation Project sounds like the game that is in the very earliest stages of pre-production, which means that whatever this is, it's a long way off. And then that's assuming it comes out as many games never graduate beyond the concept and pre-production stage. At the moment of publishing, neither Respawn Entertainment nor its parent company, EA, nor anyone involved with either have commented on this apparent leak and speculation it has created. Probably Titanfall. EA. EA. God. EA. Yeah, there's been rumors about Titanfall 3 coming for a while now, so it quite possibly could be, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Wick, be careful, dude. You could end up in jail for cheating at the video games. Okay? Be careful, dude. You're just gonna have to try to get good. Okay? When a group of friends realized they could hack one of the most popular video games ever invented, it wasn't long before serious money started rolling in. In 2013, I heard 23-year-old programmer Anthony Clark and 3 of his friends found a way to generate huge amounts of in-game currency from EA Sports FIFA game. Ooh. Anthony described as I mean, I actually love that they did this to EA though. Described as the mastermind of the operation, had devised a hack which tricked EA Sports servers into thinking a game had been completed. They would then automatically award a coin for games that had never been played. Once this process was scaled up, the group were able to create vast amounts of the coins, which they then sold on to gamers around the world to the incredible tune of $16 million, dude. What? Anthony and his friends were suddenly rich beyond their wildest dreams, making dizzying amounts of money on a daily basis. Imagine, imagine gamers getting rich off of a scheme built off of EA's scheme. Rich beyond their wildest dreams. Eaton Zver, one of the group of programmers, said, "At its peak, it could have been like 500,000 a day. One of the first things I bought was a car. I purchased a Mercedes AMG CLA 45, paid in cash. As for Anthony, he reportedly showered his family with gifts, not least a house for his mother. For him, as a school friend said, this was the accomplishment of all accomplishments." But the group's soaring earnings had not gone unnoticed by the FBI. Unbeknown to Anthony and his friends, the agency had approached EA, the company behind the game. Federal prosecutor Brian Poe said, "What drew us to this case was the amount of money that these kids were able to make. There's 16 million. There's Lamborghinis and Mercedes. On September the 17th of 2015, we executed search warrants simultaneously. They had no idea that the federal agents were going to show up their home. To their shock, the FBI raided the friends' homes early that morning, armed and ready to seize assets. According to Anthony's auntie, Sean Burgess, at 6 in the morning, they basically just pounded at the doors, and then the boys were greeted with shotguns in their faces. Wow. We found a treasure trove of information, especially at Eaton Zvar's computer, because he had one of the chats these guys had. I didn't have this goal of sending them to prison. What I wanted was to send a message out there, hey guys, this is illegal. The case for wire fraud. But was it? Anthony's 3 collaborators, including Zver, pleaded guilty and forfeited all the money they had made in order to avoid jail time. Anthony and his lawyers were convinced that he had done nothing wrong, decided to fight the case, a move that Anthony understood was extremely high risk. If he was convicted, he looked at several years of jail time. Scott Gilbert, one of Anthony's lawyers, said for the government to bring a wire mail fraud prosecution, they had to prove that Anthony obtained money or property. In the terms of service, it literally says FIFA coins are neither money or property, and that was a really big thing to us because we didn't believe that they were going to be able to meet their burden of proof, and so we just began to prepare for a trial. Nice. Anthony's team took the position that the coins were not valuable as EA Sports could create infinite amounts of them, while EA Sports and the government maintained that the coins did have worth, as evidenced by their resale online. As Brian put it, if this was not money or property that they were obtaining, then what were they getting paid $16 million for? In the end, the trial did not go as Anthony's team had hoped, and jury found him guilty of conspiracy to commit wire fraud. According to Anthony's friends and family, he wasn't shocked by the outcome, remaining positive about the possibility of an appeal. He told friends that if he did have to serve time, he would do it and then return to normal life and a career in software creation. A devastating end. Tragically, that wasn't to be. That February, he awaited sentencing. Anthony went out partying with his friends to celebrate his birthday. According to his aunt, he was drinking heavily, knowing it was likely to be his last birthday as a free man for a long time. He'd also been taking medication. Anthony passed away in his sleep a few days after his birthday from what was officially ruled an accidental drug overdose. He died maintaining that he had not committed a crime and would never plead guilty to something he believed that he had not done. Years later, his lawyers still support his views. Reflecting on the case and the FIFA coin's worth, Scott said, "At the end of the day, it's a numerical value in a computer, no different than the jersey color on one of the soccer players. It doesn't really exist." A numerical value in a computer doesn't have value. With the world we live in now and cryptocurrency being such a highly sought after and valuable thing quite often, and I don't know that I agree with that statement, but whose fault is this that some people were able to figure out how to play the system here? EA's. So why should EA? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, EA should have been doing their due diligence to make sure that nobody was able to figure out how to do this kind of thing. I don't know. There's a little bit, not even that. What? Wait, do what now? Why is it set up that people can sell those coins? Yeah, well, I mean, that in the first place, that's what I was talking about in the first place, is that's just it's scummy. The whole incorporation of everything that EA does with all their sports games is scummy, dude. That's why I quit playing NHL so long ago. All that's what they've solely focused all these sports games really on, just trying to get everybody to play the ultimate team crap, right? That's what all these coins are about, um, like the currency for the ultimate team stuff and everything. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't aware that you mean that people can actually like gain the currency and then sell the currency to other people. Is that what you're talking about, Wick? Because that's a good point. If that's what you're getting at, I wouldn't have assumed that that would actually be a possibility. To be honest, um, most of the time, yeah, I have no idea. Most of the time, that kind of thing is like on lock because companies don't want people. They're like, you can either buy the coins from us or earn the coins in game or something like that, but you can't trade them with other people. You can't give them to other people. You can't buy them from other people, only from us. That's the only way to get them in your account because they don't want stuff like this happening. They don't want you to be able to buy them cheaper from other places than you can get them from the actual, place that develops the software and stuff, right? Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, it's a good point, and I find it odd as well. I don't know. I find it odd. Yeah, no idea. I don't know. Yeah, I. It's surprising to me that that's actually something they were able to do, but these individuals saw an opportunity, man, and they took it. That's for sure. No doubt about it. I mean, I feel like this is a really bad statement, though, especially in today's day and age where technology is more ingrained in everything, and the further we go, the less reliant we are on actual physical copies of money, and everything is digital currency. You know what I mean? It's just whether you're talking about crypto or you're just talking about actual regular like monies, whether it be U.S. or yen or pounds or euros or what have you. You know what I mean? Um, we are each year after the next dealing less and less with physical copies of money, um, and more with digital currency. So to say that a numerical value in a computer doesn't hold value, I disagree. It's been proven very much that numerical values in computers hold great value, monetary value. So that's a weird statement to me. But yeah, I agree with you, Wick. That's a really weird thing. I didn't know that you could do that. Um, this is the last article I have pulled up for this morning, guys. So if anybody has anything else that they're aware of that uh, we should maybe discuss in regards to video gaming news that I have not come across in previous segments or in today's segment, then please let me know and we will address before we move on. What's not accurate? EA sells those coins for a dollar amount. Yeah, yeah. I mean, absolutely, EA sells those coins. Yeah. What do you mean specifically? What's not accurate though? Something like that last statement in that article. Is that what you're talking about? They absolutely have a monetary value. That's what you're getting at, right? And they're trying to say they don't. Whenever they absolutely do. Yeah, that's what you're getting at, right? Yeah. They absolutely do. I mean, what's funny is, yeah, mm-hmm, yeah, for sure. Um, the thing that's funny is they're trying to argue that they don't have monetary value whenever the entire world is like fighting the fact that EA has been doing this very kind of scummy stuff with their games, especially their sports games, for a long time. And it's seen as very predatory, especially to younger audiences and stuff like that. Because basically, what it is in the sports games, right? All the like the hockey Ultimate Team, the FIFA Ultimate Team, the Madden Ultimate Team, all that stuff. It's basically loot boxes, is what it is, right? You get packs cards, you open them up, you see what team members you get, you build teams around them. Then you have to get contracts in the packs too, and you keep getting sucked into needing the best players, and you need new contracts, better contracts, and things like that, right? So it's very much considered loot boxes, and you have to pay the money for the loot boxes, and so people are like, it's gambling, right? So that's been the argument against EA and doing this kind of stuff in their sports games forever. And now you've got somebody going, oh, there's no monetary value in it, you know? And no, that's wrong. That's wrong. Yeah, for sure. I agree, buddy. The first NFT games console has been announced. Uh, I've I brought this up because like you guys know my stance on like NFTs and Web3 and blockchain. Uh Dude, it's just my advice is just stay away from it right now. At the very least, just educate yourself to the greatest extent possible if you're thinking about diving in. But right now, it's just so terrible. It's just so much of it is just so scummy um, in the gaming industry. But this seems weird. NFT games console? What? The Polium 1 will allegedly be released in 2024, but its reveal has been met with some criticism. This is a paperweight. What is this? A new console aimed at Web3 gaming has been announced and immediately met with resistance from some players. Web3 company Polium claims its Polium 1 system will be the world's first multi-chain gaming console that will be capable of running games built on different blockchains. Console will be powerful enough to run high-performance games, be easy to use for a traditional gamer who does not understand Web3 Polium chains. Polium claims, excuse me. The console, which Polium says all I want's a hamburger, dude. The console, which Polium says will be released in Q3 2024, will only be able to be pre-ordered by players who buy a Polium Pass, an NFT on the Ethereum network, of which 10,000 will be. You've got to be kidding me, dude. So the console released in Q3 of 2024. Did I not just say that like all the NFT stuff right now just seems so scummy, right? Check this out. So not only is this a year and a half away, basically, from release, potentially, tentatively, year and a half away from the release. 2 years, excuse me. About 2 years away from release, yeah? It will only be available to pre-order by players who buy a Polium Pass, which is an NFT on the Ethereum network, of which 10,000 will be minted. There are only 10,000, so you got to get in there while the getting's good. Don't miss out. Okay? I'm being sarcastic. Stay away from this. According to Polium, the console's controller will include a fingerprint scanner for security and a wallet button that will allow you to just dump all of your money straight into the controller, which will then convert all of your money into digital currency and leave you broke. Sorry, let me reread this. According to Polium, the console's controller will include a fingerprint scanner for security and a wallet button to give players quick access to the console's multi-chain wallet designed for trading, swapping, staking, and receiving cryptocurrency. Despite Polium's admission that only 4 people are working on the hardware, it also claims that the console will be capable of 8K HDR at 120 frames and ray tracing. Oh, really? Yeah? What's going in this thing, huh? The announcement has been met with much criticism and skepticism from a number of players who are at best not yet convinced on the merits of blockchain gaming and at worst believe it to be a scam. I wonder why. Some have also pointed out that the console's logo appears to be an upside down take on the GameCube logo. What? Nice! It really does. Oh, that's so close. It looks familiar, but GameCube has a G, and the cube represents their name. Yeah, it does look just a tad bit different, but it's pretty close, dude. Yeah. If you just like rotated it a little bit and then moved this down just to right there, it's the same. So rotate the cube clockwise about what, 90? And then move this section over just a tad, same thing. Not even the newly established Polium Discord server, which appeared to launch with no moderation, sick, has been free of criticism. In the Discord Scam Alert channel, presumably set up to let users report potential NFT scams, a number of users simply replied, "This entire project." Oh, dude, I love it. In the ideas and feedback channel, the first comment simply says, "Give up." Polium has now posted a statement on the Discord addressing the initial response, accusing some of FUD, an acronym meaning fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We have been receiving FUD and criticism regarding our ability to execute. Statement reads, to clarify, it's 4 of us that are building the functional prototype for the console and controller. We have experience in hardware and software development. We are currently doing the power tree for the console's board. We should have a functional prototype by November or before. We will show the prototype live on YouTube or have a well-trusted influencer show you all. The prototype will prove that the console can run games that are on different blockchains and built with different programming languages. We will not take any pre-orders funding until we show the prototype, and if the community is interested, once we have a functional prototype, we will build the console for manufacturing. Oh, this is what. Hey, can I copy your homework? Sure, just don't make it obvious. Again, look, if you just rotate this down and then move this over, yeah, it's the same thing. That's hilarious. Regarding the lack of any confirmed games, isn't that great? Yeah, that's great, dude. The statement reads, there will be games on the console. We will make some announcements soon. We are currently speaking to game developers. For the logo, we did not copy Nintendo's GameCube logo. We are listening to the community. We will hire a new illustrator to design a more original logo for us. It concludes, you know what they'll probably do? Rotate it 90 degrees up. Be like, dude, it's way different now. It concludes, some of you are not passionate about Web3 and are only here for entertainment and fun. But we will start banning people. Anything is possible when you are passionate about a problem. We will deliver. Stay tuned. Yeah, so, you know, instead of trying to actually communicate with people and convince them, like, be like, we understand. Instead of being like, look, we understand why you would be skeptical of this. Please just give us a chance, you know, and we're actually trying to do something legit here. This is, you know, they're like, we'll just ban everybody that's gonna not, you know, that thinks we're not doing it, you know, great job. That's really gonna go over well. You know what I mean? Idiots, dude. Of course you're gonna be. There's no way you went into this thinking that you weren't gonna be met with skepticism. You know what I mean? And because so much of everything that has to do with blockchain and NFTs and Web3 and all of this stuff, games built on crypto economies and things like that, it's all so scummy, dude. There's been so many people that have gotten scammed by it. Of course you're going to be met with skepticism and people are going to think that what you're doing is a scam. Of course. And you had to know that going into this. So why are you just going to blatantly disregard everybody that is meeting you with that and going, this is a scam? Instead of trying to communicate with them and go, please give us a chance, you know, and we're just going to ban you. Well, we're just going to ban you. I understand that it's probably going to be difficult to hear that stuff every day, but you're not doing yourself any favors. That's for sure. By just banning everybody that has anything to say about it. I gotta say, though, this seems very scummy. I mean, the first thing I said, you know, is like, this right here. First impression does not look good, dude. First of all, their date is 2 years out, right? For the console to be released, 2 years out. And then they're like, oh, hey, you can pre-order this bad boy if you get in on our Polium Pass and purchase, but you can't get the Polium Pass unless you get one of the limited 10,000 NFTs that we have available for purchase. All right? Don't miss out on this opportunity. Okay? I mean, that's the way it comes off, you know, and it seems very scummy. Seems very scummy. Oh, the gaming world, man. Oh, the gaming world. So many scummy things out there. Developers just trying to leech as much money out of us as they can, you know. Pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. Um, cool. Yo, Wick, that's not a bad that's just a little bit over an hour of news there, dude. What do you think, man? Um, join that Discord. I'm just gonna become part of their team, dude. I'm just gonna run that place. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm gonna bring you in. We're gonna take over the entire place. That's gonna become our console. You know what the logo is gonna look like? Logo is gonna look like a combination of our icons, dude. Game over. Be selling like hotcakes. The actual console won't even do anything. It'll be an empty plastic box, but it'll sell because of our logos. No big deal. Um, thank you guys for being here. Join that Discord and the new segment will run for another 3 hours. Let's go, dude. Scroll through comments. Yeah, it'd probably be pretty wild, wouldn't it? It'd probably be pretty wild. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the news and being part of this community. You guys are awesome. Good news. Good news segment. Sundays can be a bit tame compared to other days, and that's cool. That's cool. We got Witcher 3 Day 4 coming up in just a moment. But if you are viewing this as a VOD later on and you're enjoying the content, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button and potentially leave me a comment so we can have some discussion regarding some of these topics that we went over today, okay? Also, see if you can come hang out with us at 6 o'clock a.m. CST, where we do the video gaming news segments live every single day at the beginning of every stream, all right? Other than that, everybody just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we will catch everybody tomorrow for July 11th edition of Video Gaming News, all right?